Toyota's CEO just put one number in front of the entire truck industry: $9,000. Not for a luxury pickup, not for a wild concept. For the kind of simple Toyota truck many buyers thought had disappeared from the American market forever. That is why this reveal feels so serious. A low-cost pickup from Toyota would not just compete with other trucks. It would question why trucks became so expensive in the first place. But the strange part is not only that Toyota can build it, it is why American buyers still have not been able to get it. So what is Toyota really preparing? And who is most afraid of it? In May 2026, Toyota Motor North America CEO Tetsuo Ogawa gave the truck market one sentence it had waited years to hear. Speaking to Automotive News, he said, "A RAV4-based pickup is an opportunity for us, and the dealers are waiting." For Toyota, that was not casual talk. It was the clearest sign yet that the company was looking at a smaller, cheaper pickup for America, while the rest of the industry kept pushing prices higher. By late 2025, the average full-size truck in the United States was no longer close to affordable. Cox Automotive placed the number between $64,790 and $66,386. Even Toyota's cheapest American truck, the base Tacoma, started at $31,590. For many buyers, entry-level no longer meant reachable. It meant the lowest door into a market that had already moved far away from ordinary workers. Price alone does not show the full problem. Between 2014 and 2024, mid-tier full-size truck prices rose 53.1%, while blue-collar wages grew only 38.7%. The Ford F-150 Lariat jumped from $38,155 to $67,490, adding more than $29,000 in 10 years. A contractor who once financed a work truck now keeps repairing one with 200,000 miles because the replacement costs like a luxury vehicle. Against that backdrop, Toyota already had another answer. The IMV0, also known as the Hilux Champ, exists outside America as a real working truck, not a concept. It costs around $10,000 in its lowest form, sells across more than 180 countries, and uses one of Toyota's proven global truck platforms. No rebates. No fake base price hiding mandatory packages. Just a basic pickup built for people who need a truck more than they need screens, leather, or status. Ogawa's quote mattered because buyers heard more than a product hint. They heard Toyota admit there is a gap in the market. Still, the mystery remains. Toyota has the truck. The world already has the truck. Yet American dealers cannot sell it. The question is not whether Toyota can build an affordable pickup. It is whether America will ever be allowed to buy one. The answer begins with the truck Toyota already built. It has reached buyers across Asia, but what they received looks nothing like the pickups sitting on American lots. The truck Toyota already built, after Toyota's CEO hinted at a smaller pickup for America, the next question was simple. Did Toyota already have one? In December 2022, at Toyota Motor Thailand's 60th anniversary event, the company revealed the IMV0. It was not shown like a faraway dream car. There was no glossy promise for 2031. This was a near-production truck, already moving toward Thailand dealerships. By 2023, it launched in Bangkok as the Toyota Hilux Champ, with the expected $10,000 price rising to about $13,000. Toyota did not build the Hilux Champ on an untested base. It used the IMV platform, short for Innovative International Multipurpose Vehicle, the same ladder frame family behind the Toyota Hilux. The IMV platform began in 2004 and spread across more than 180 countries. That matters because the Hilux name already carries a hard-earned reputation for toughness. For a truck this cheap, Toyota was not trying to invent something fragile. It was taking a proven global work platform and stripping it down to the parts that mattered most. Power choices also show how basic this truck really is. Buyers can choose a 2.4-liter turbo diesel along with 2.0-liter and 2.7-liter gasoline engines. Each one connects to a 5-speed manual, with rear-wheel drive as standard. Inside, the message becomes even clearer. No radio, no infotainment screen, no USB port, no power windows, no heated seats, no touchscreen, no driver assistance systems. The gauge cluster has one main dial, a speedometer. The center stack has 3 knobs for air control. Nothing more. Dr. Jurakart Jongasuk, chief engineer of Toyota's Hilux IMV platform, explained the idea behind it. The IMV0 was meant to be delivered 70% finished, leaving the final 30% for the customer. In Thailand, that has turned the same truck into coffee stands, farm rigs, delivery vehicles, campers, and even medical setups. Toyota was not selling one fixed lifestyle product. It was selling a blank working base that buyers could shape around their own needs. So if the Hilux Champ is real, proven, and sold across more than 180 countries, one question becomes impossible to avoid. Why can't Amy? 60-year wall. A $10,000 Toyota truck cannot be sold at an American dealership for one main reason, and it has nothing to do with whether Toyota can build it. The barrier is the chicken tax, a 25% tariff on imported light trucks that has been in place since 1964. It began after France and West Germany placed tariffs on American chicken exports, and President Johnson's administration responded by targeting foreign vehicles, including the Volkswagen Type 2 bus. A trade fight over frozen chicken ended up shaping the American truck market for decades. The math is simple, but the damage is serious. A $13,000 truck imported from Thailand would face a 25% charge the moment it reached the United States. That adds $3,250 before dealer markup, safety changes, or emissions work even begin. The IMV0 was designed for buyers who count every dollar, so it was never built to absorb that kind of extra cost. A cheap truck stops being cheap before it even reaches the lot. Safety rules add another wall. The Hilux Champ ships with 2 airbags in its home market, but U.S. rules demand a higher baseline of safety equipment. That means more airbags, electronic stability control, backup cameras, and systems like automatic emergency braking. Each part adds cost. Each change requires testing. By the time the truck is redesigned for America, the price that made it important begins to disappear. Toyota and Nissan learned this problem years ago. Their answer was to build bigger trucks inside North America, where the tariff does not hit the same way. The Tacoma and Tundra are assembled in San Antonio, Texas, but the IMV0 depends on Thai costs, Thai labor, and supply chains built for emerging markets. Move that production, and the whole price changes. A $10,000 truck cannot survive like a $40,000 truck can. The chicken tax explains why America cannot easily get the cheap Toyota truck. But it does not explain why the trucks already on American lots have become so expensive. How the industry broke the American truck buyer. The American truck market in 2025 and 2026 looks strong from the outside, but the numbers show something unstable underneath. By late 2025, the average full-size truck transaction price reached $66,386. That was not just the price of a loaded luxury model. It included base trucks, fleet trucks, and work trucks. The industry did not reach that number overnight. It got there by adding features, reshaping trims, and quietly moving the cheapest options further out of reach. Working buyers felt the gap first. Between 2014 and 2024, mid-tier full-size truck prices rose 53.1%. The F-150 Lariat jumped by about $29,000 in that same period. A buyer who could stretch for a truck in 2014 was no longer looking at the same market in 2024. They did not fall behind because they stopped working. The price floor moved above them. The market has started showing the strain. A 2025 report called the moment peak truck, the point where high prices begin to weaken buying interest. Surveys showed truck and SUV purchase intent dropped 3% in 2025. The average vehicle age hit 12.8 years, while light trucks reached 11.9 years. People are not rushing into new models. Many are keeping old trucks alive because the replacement costs too much to finance. Automakers have not answered that pressure by lowering prices. Ford F-Series sales fell 3.1% in Q4 2025, then dropped 16.2% year-over-year in February 2026. Ford also ended production of the current F-150 Lightning after EV truck sales collapsed. Still, truck prices kept climbing. The industry response was not to win back the priced-out buyer. It was to earn more from the buyers who remained. The industry kept raising prices while buyers held on to older trucks. Then Ford released one small pickup, and the market gave Toyota the proof it had been waiting for. The proof Ford accidentally provided. Ford did not plan to expose the weakness in the truck market, but the Maverick did exactly that. Launched in late 2021 at $19,995, it arrived as a small crew cab pickup with a standard hybrid powertrain and up to 42 miles per gallon in the city. Ford kept the price low by using the same basic platform as the Bronco Sport and Escape. For buyers who had been pushed out of bigger trucks, this was the first new pickup in years that felt reachable. The response came fast. In 2022, its first full year on sale, the Maverick moved nearly 75,000 units and even outsold the Ranger. By 2025, sales climbed to 155,051 units, up 18.2% from the year before. Of those, 81,034 were hybrids, making the Maverick Hybrid 52.5% of total sales. The numbers made one thing clear: the affordable compact truck market was not dead. It had simply been ignored. The most important number was the 60% conquest rate. Around 60% of 2025 Maverick buyers were new to Ford completely. They were not all F-150 owners moving down. Many came from compact SUVs, sedans, and crossovers because they wanted a truck but could not find one at a fair price. For Toyota, that figure mattered. It showed a huge buyer pool with no strong brand loyalty, waiting for someone else to enter. Hyundai also tried this space with the Santa Cruz, but by 2026, it was being discontinued. It found a niche, but it never matched Maverick volume or conquest strength. That left Ford almost alone in the compact truck segment. The strange part is that Ford's own truck started drifting away from the price that made it famous. With mandatory fees, the Maverick now starts above $30,000. Ford proved the buyers were still there, and the Maverick gave Toyota the numbers it needed. But Toyota's answer would not be a copy of Ford's truck. It would come from a very different plan. What Toyota is actually planning? Toyota's plan became harder to dismiss in May 2026 when CEO Tetsuo Ogawa said a RAV4-based pickup was an opportunity and that dealers were waiting. For years, Toyota had avoided giving a direct answer on a smaller U.S. truck. This time, the words came from the top. A CEO does not give that kind of public signal by accident, especially when dealers are already asking for the product. The truck Toyota is preparing for America is not the Hilux Champ. It is expected to use the TNGA-K platform, the same foundation under the RAV4, Camry, and Highlander. That means a unibody design where the body and frame are tied together instead of using a separate ladder frame. This would give the truck smoother road manners, better fuel economy, and a more car-like feel for city and suburban buyers. Power is expected to come from Toyota's hybrid system. The likely setup is a 2.5-liter four-cylinder hybrid making around 226 to 236 horsepower, with a possible plug-in version using RAV4 Prime technology for up to 320 horsepower. Toyota has also announced its Engine Reborn program, including a new 2.0-liter turbo that is 10% smaller than the current 2.4-liter turbo. If used here, it could give the truck strong power without losing efficiency. The name Toyota appears to be preparing is Stout. The trademark has been filed in the United States, Argentina, and Australia. That name matters because the original Toyota Stout was sold in America from 1964 to 1967, making it Toyota's first compact truck in North America. Its timing connects directly to the same tariff era that made affordable imported trucks harder to keep on American roads. Toyota has confirmed the direction, the platform, and the name. But the next question is where the real tension begins. Will America get the affordable truck buyers wanted, or a more expensive version of the same idea? The two Toyotas. Toyota now has two very different trucks in the same conversation. One is the IMV0, also known as the Hilux Champ, priced around $10,000 to $13,000 in global markets. It is built on the Hilux platform, stripped down, and made for buyers who need strength at the lowest possible cost. The other is a RAV4-based hybrid pickup for America, expected to cost between $25,000 and $35,000. These are not two versions of the same truck. They are two different ideas with a price gap wide enough to change the whole debate. The cheaper truck is now tied to North America in a way American buyers will notice. The Hilux Champ is expected for Mexico, while the U.S. still waits for the higher-priced compact pickup. That means a buyer near El Paso, Texas, may know a basic Toyota work truck is being sold roughly 100 miles away, but not at an American dealership. The chicken tax and U.S. safety rules create a wall between the buyer and the truck that fits the price people keep asking for. The problem feels familiar because Ford already showed how fast affordable can become expensive. The Maverick launched in 2021 at $19,995, then moved above $30,000 with mandatory fees by 2026. That shift took only 5 years. Toyota's U.S. truck could begin near the price where Maverick is now, not where Maverick began. For a buyer waiting for a true budget pickup, that difference matters more than the badge on the hood. Toyota's delay makes the tension even sharper. Ford proved the compact truck market in 2021. Then Toyota's planning chief said in 2025 that it was not a question of if. In 2026, Toyota's CEO confirmed a RAV4-based pickup opportunity, and COO Mark Templin told buyers to be patient. The earliest expected arrival is 2027, which means Toyota may take 6 years to answer a market that Ford already proved. The gap between the global Toyota truck and the American Toyota truck leads back to one question. Is there any real path for a cheap pickup in America, or is the wall too old to move? The wall that won't move. The chicken tax has lasted for about 62 years, and it has survived trade deals that changed entire industries. NAFTA, CAFTA, and the USMCA all reshaped vehicle production, but none removed the 25% tariff on imported light trucks. The reason is simple. Domestic automakers, unions, and dealership networks all benefit from a market where imported cheap trucks face a heavy cost before they can compete. The current political climate makes repeal even harder. In 2025 and 2026, tariff policy became more aggressive, not less. Both major parties have moved closer to protecting domestic manufacturing. That gives the chicken tax new life, even though it began as retaliation over frozen chicken. A rule born from an old trade fight now fits a modern political mood that does not want more low-cost imports. Toyota also has to plan around this uncertainty. A U.S. compact truck built on the TNGA-K platform would rely on parts and supply chains that may cross borders. New tariffs on auto parts can raise costs before the vehicle even reaches a dealer. Toyota's "Be Patient" message may not only be about engineering, it may also be about waiting until the company knows what the final cost environment will look like. A repeal would change the market quickly, but there is no serious effort to make it happen. Without the tariff, the IMV0 could possibly reach America below $20,000 after safety changes, though not at the exact global price. That kind of Toyota pickup would not fight the F-150 directly. It would challenge the Maverick, the Ridgeline, and even crossovers bought by people who wanted a truck but could not afford one. The policy wall may not move, so Toyota's next signal matters even more. The name it brought back is not random, and its history explains what Toyota is trying to say. The name they brought back. Toyota has now done something that looks small from the outside but means a lot inside the auto industry. It has trademarked the name Stout in the United States, Argentina, and Australia. That name has also appeared in internal supplier documents tied to a new pickup project. Automakers do not usually protect names across major markets unless a real product is being prepared. This does not look like a random filing. It looks like Toyota is laying the ground for a wider truck program. The original Toyota Stout was sold in North America from 1964 to 1967. It was Toyota's first truck on American roads and a compact half-ton pickup by the standards of its time. Its arrival came in the same era as the chicken tax, signed in 1964, which made affordable imported trucks harder to sell in America. That timing matters. Toyota's first small truck and the policy that helped shape its future entered the American market almost side by side. Now, Toyota is bringing that name back roughly 60 years after the original Stout disappeared. That makes the name feel less like branding and more like a message. Toyota is not just borrowing an old badge for nostalgia. It is pointing back to the moment when it first tried to enter the American compact truck space. The Stout name tells dealers, media, and rivals that Toyota sees this segment as unfinished business. When the new Stout arrives, it may enter a market with only one serious rival, the Ford Maverick. Hyundai's Santa Cruz exit leaves Ford with room, but that room may not last. Toyota brings a strong truck reputation through Tacoma and Tundra, and the new compact pickup could offer a hybrid setup with more power than Maverick. If Toyota prices it aggressively, Ford and GM will have to answer a buyer base that Ford already proved was large and open. The Stout name proves Toyota is serious about returning to the compact truck market. But the name alone cannot answer the one question every working buyer still has. What will it cost? The question Toyota hasn't answered. The problem comes down to one number. The Ford Maverick launched in 2021 at $19,995, but by 2026, it had moved above $30,000 with mandatory fees. That rise took only 5 years. If the Toyota Stout starts near $27,000 and climbs the same way, the buyer who cannot afford today's Maverick may not be able to afford tomorrow's Stout. The problem would not be solved. It would simply move to another badge. The pressure becomes sharper because the IMV0 is expected in Mexico. That means American buyers may see a basic Toyota work truck selling close to the border, while U.S. dealers offer a much more expensive compact pickup. That image will follow every Stout price announcement. It will show the gap between what Toyota can build for the world and what America's rules, tariffs, and market structure allow buyers to purchase. The blue-collar buyer at the center of this issue does not need another lifestyle truck. A contractor, farmer, or tradesperson driving a vehicle with 200,000 miles needs something they can finance without risking their whole month's income. A $27,000 Stout may be better than a $31,000 Maverick, but it does not change the math the way a truck closer to $20,000 would. That is the price level where Ford proved demand existed. Toyota could still make this moment disruptive. It would need to price the Stout against the original Maverick idea, not just the current Maverick window. That means choosing the buyer over the biggest possible margin. It also means carrying some of the IMV0's philosophy into the American truck, even if the platform and safety systems are different. Ford already proved from 2022 through 2025 that buyers are waiting for that kind of option. Toyota has confirmed the direction, the name, and the market opportunity. Its CEO has spoken. Its COO has told buyers to wait. Its planning chief has said it is no longer a question of if. A $10,000 Toyota truck already exists globally, and the Stout name is back in America. But Toyota has not said the one number that matters most. Until it does, the real mystery remains whether this truck will break the industry's pricing pattern or prove the industry has already won. The CEO spoke. The name returned. The truck exists. Now everything depends on the price Toyota has not revealed. Toyota's $9,000 pickup leaves one question behind. If the truck already exists, why can't American buyers have it today? The answer may reveal who the high prices really protect now.